Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Edmondson.
Well, here we are at 5:48 p.m. All the thunderstorms are off to our west right now. We're still totally clear across our area. We've seen some clearing skies. The sunshine's starting to peek back out as the high-level clouds are moving out of our area. So that's going to help to maybe increase our temperature a little bit. We may have hit 90 degrees today. That's the first time this year. Think of it, it's late June and we didn't even hit 90 yet this year, but we did today, or at least in some locations. We'll see once the almanac data comes out. Here's the strong thunderstorms. They've just moved past Charlottesville now. And there's this one line that's right here. There's also an individual thunderstorm that's near Farmville right now. I've seen a lot of reports of a lot of hail out of these storms so far. Not a lot of wind damage so much yet from what I've seen, but a lot of hail out of these storms. Assuming they're going to continue that push to the east at 40 miles an hour, I'm only going to cut it off here at Richmond, but we'll take a look at the rest of our area in a second. Richmond around 7 o'clock. So I'm going to use that kind of as a gauge. I'll remember that time to see if these actually move into Richmond at 7. Because what we're doing here and going forward, at this point, it's called nowcasting. So what's happening right now, this, and what's going to happen in the future based on the current speed, maybe some type of forward movement. So that's what we're doing. Instead of forecasting where we're seeing, well, if something hasn't existed yet, what could happen, we already know what's happening now. So we have some good data what's happening now, and we can see what's happening into the future. Now, into our region, across central Virginia, central North Carolina too, and also into the Hampton Road cities, there's a lot of clear skies. There's not a lot of cumulus cloud cover. There's a lot of downward motion still that's inhibiting these clouds and thunderstorms from developing. They've developed off to our west, and they should march their way to the east as we go into tonight, but things are going to take a little while for them to arrive. So this isn't going to be sliding in here at 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. This is going to take its time pushing to the east. So here's a prediction. We're going to assume there's thunderstorms here. There are not. But let's use our tool to see where these storms will be as we go forward, assuming they're moving at 40 miles an hour. Now, this is highly subject to change, but based on a 40-mile-an-hour forward speed, Norfolk, Virginia Beach at around 9:24, 9:51 p.m. I know a lot of cities that are in our area are not on this chart because it prioritizes based on population for all the locations in this box. But we can say, okay, maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock into parts of the peninsula, maybe a little bit earlier than that. So we can kind of use this as a gauge from where we are. So that's about 4 or 5 hours from now. We'll see if that's going to verify or not. That's highly subject to change, but it's kind of a good estimate to where we are right now. How do we break down the risks? For tornado, it's a low risk for tornadoes tonight into the area. Hail is going to be more focused to our west, not so much into our region. It's a lot lower. And wind threat is kind of the primary threat that we have going into tonight. There's a lot of humidity in the air. The temperatures are warm, so we have the fuel for thunderstorms. Let's take a look at one of our models. This updated not too long ago. It has that line of rain moving into Richmond around 8. Remember, the radar said 7. So there's a little bit of a difference there. We're going to have to watch and see which one is correct. 9 o'clock, that line starting to move into the Middle Peninsula and the Eastern Shore. We see that line pushing into the Hampton Road cities sometime between 10 and 11. So this is a little slower than what the radar may suggest based on that 40-mile-an-hour speed. So either the storms slow down or we get some development out ahead of it. So there's a lot of things that are going to change here. That's why I would keep your TV on as we go into tonight to see how this thing is going to set up and how it's going to move into the area, because this timing is still a little bit up in the air. Tomorrow we'll have a high temperature of 86. We could see more thunderstorms tomorrow. They could be strong too. 84 on Wednesday, 83 on Thursday.